know how it is? Just when you get comfortable with something like chemical labeling in your hazard communication program, someone comes along and changes something. And then guys like Skippy here have to learn something new. Look at him. Deer, headlights, frozen. I mean, that's roadkill just waiting to happen. Don't be that guy. The poor me look doesn't work. And besides, anyone can learn this stuff. Let's get to work. Hey, Skippy, down here. It's going to be okay. All you gotta do is learn a little new information. Can you do that?
Yeah, but change is hard.
So is explaining why people were injured because they didn't know how to read a label.
Good call, but still.
Look, the changes aren't all that intense. The new globally harmonized system is not that different than what you're already doing now. There are a bunch of companies already using it, and they're doing fine. With the new globally harmonized system, or GHS, everyone is going to be on the same page. And that's a good thing. Skippy, I am going to teach you, and the good folks watching this, what you need to, got to, has to know for your safety and for the safety of every person in this company.
Awesomeness on a stick.
Don't get cute with me.
Okay.
Now, after this, you are going to know how to read labels on potentially dangerous chemicals so you can keep yourself and your coworkers safe. All this basically means pretty much everyone in the whole world is going to use the same labels with the same wording, pictograms, and classifications. So we're all on the same page. Let's take a closer look at a label. Want to put that down right about here for me? Thanks. First, the product identifier. Now, as you probably figured out, this is the code and name of the product. Under that, you might find the shipping name, shipping numbers, and part numbers, and the emergency phone number. And that number is important. Skippy, why is that number important?
It's important to know where that number is in case something happens.
Very good. Wait, what are you doing?
I'm just taking notes.
All of this will be in your training manual.
Well, I remember things better if I write them down.
Oh, aren't you the good little student?
I'd like to think so.
If writing it down helps you remember, write it down. Next is the signal word. Now, the signal word is the first thing to look for on a label because the signal word tells you if there's a potential hazard and how severe it can be. Danger is for more severe hazards. Would you please change that around for me?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Warning is for less severe hazards. Now, sometimes there's no signal word, but that doesn't mean that the product is hazard-free. Now look for the hazard statement. Now, this is a phrase that describes the nature of the product hazard. This can be a phrase like highly flammable liquid or causes serious eye irritation. Next on the label is a hazard pictogram. A pictogram is a symbol for the hazard of the product. A chemical can have one or more hazards and can have one or more pictograms. Next up, precautionary statements. Now, precautionary statements are important because they're going to tell you what you need to do if you want to minimize or prevent harm from exposure, improper handling, or improper storage. Skippy, do you want to minimize or prevent harm from exposure, improper handling, or improper storage?
I would say yes.
You would say yes?
I would say yes.
And you would be right. Precautionary statements are like wear protective gloves, or avoid contact with skin or eyes, or keep container tightly closed. Precautionary. Pre, meaning before you do something so you avoid problems. And on this particular label, there's also stuff like what to do in case of a fire and what kind of first aid you might need. Got it, Skippy?
Got it.
Good. You've come a long way from deer in headlights going to be roadkill any second to, look at me, I'm a label expert.
Thank you.
And now it's, oh boy, pictograms time. A pictogram is a symbol that represents a word or an idea, and we see them all the time. Like, you see this, and even if you can't read, you know that means no diving, or no smoking, or no synchronized swimming. I don't know how often that comes up, but whatever, you get the point. The picture represents the word or an idea. Now let's look at the pictograms everyone's using nowadays with the globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals. And for that, let's play a little card game. Basically, GHS pictograms are symbols that represent various dangers. Let's go through these 9 cards. This one is health hazard. Look at that pictogram. It's like a guy with a monster jumping out of his chest or something. That's the kind of stuff that makes me love pictograms. Health hazard. Remember that. When you see this pictogram, you are dealing with some potentially serious stuff. This chemical could be a carcinogen and cause cancer. It could be a respiratory sensitizer, causes asthma, or it could have reproductive toxicity. That'll mess with your sexual performance, fertility, or cause birth defects. If you see the health hazard pictogram, it could have target organ toxicity, meaning it targets your organs, like your liver. Aspiration toxicity, that stuff could damage your lungs, or it could also cause mutagenicity. Mutagenicity? Now that means that it has an agent that can increase the frequency of cell mutation. Mutants! Run away, run away! Do not mess with that.
Mutants are scary.
Yes, Skippy, they are. Thanks for your 2 cents. Flame, another good one. When you see that flame pictogram, it means that the chemical you're dealing with is flammable, self-reactive, or self-heating. This puppy's got all sorts of skills. If it's a pyrophoric, it could start burning if it just contacts air. If this chemical is an organic peroxide, it might just get itself all unstable, burn, or explode. Or it could expel flammable gas. Again, if you see a flame like this, pay attention to the precautionary statements on the label. Next, ooh, I like this one too. Flame over O. Not 0, O, for oxidizer. This pictogram indicates that this oxidizer could cause organic materials to combust. Here's why you can't smoke in a hospital. They got oxygen in there and you could start some guy on fire.
I don't smoke, but I especially don't smoke in a hospital.
You're a man among men, Skippy. A man among men. Now, this just looks like someone's excited. And that someone should be you. Because when you see this exclamation point pictogram, it means that the chemical you're dealing with is an irritant or a skin sensitizer. It has acute toxicity, which, cute or not, is harmful. Exclamation guy here might also have a narcotic effect. You fall asleep. Or it could affect your nose, mouth, throat, and lungs. Next, gas cylinder. Now this is an easy one. You see the gas cylinder pictogram and you know that you are dealing with gases under pressure. If it's propane or oxygen, they can be so compressed they're liquid. And if that liquid touches you, that part of your body could freeze. Other gases are dangerous because there's a lot of pressure inside that cylinder. And if you're unfortunate enough to knock the valve off, you have what I like to call a rocket sailing across the room. And speaking of rockets, the next one is literally an exploding bomb. Explosives. Again, cool pictogram, but not cool if something goes wrong. Here, you are dealing with explosives, self-reactives, which means it can make itself explode, and organic peroxides. You'll find organic peroxides in the plastics and rubber industries. Now, we see 2 chemistry tubes with some nasty something or other dripping on a hand and what's supposed to be a piece of metal. This means it is a corrosive, and that means that it is a chemical that can eat away your flesh or your stuff. It can be an acid, like battery acid, or the chemicals they use to treat water. Environmental toxicity. That's a dead tree and a dead fish. And I can't tell if the fish is dead yet, but if you see the environmental toxicity symbol, it means whatever's in that container is bad for trees and fish, and I'm guessing you too. And finally, the last pictogram is, drum roll, one you've seen, drum roll, skull and crossbones. No, not the Jolly Roger on a pirate ship. No siree Bob. We're talking acute toxicity. Acute means severe. And of course, toxicity means a substance that can kill you right now. Like a pirate can kill you right now with one hook tied behind his back. So, there they are, your 9 pictograms. And what were they again? Oh yeah, health hazards. Flame for flammable, flame over O for oxidizers, exclamation point for irritants, sensitizers, and toxics, gas cylinder for compressed gases, corrosives, exploding bomb for explosives, environmental toxicity, and skull and crossbones for acute toxicity. Got it? Good. We're done. Wait, this stuff is important. Follow me. Let's review. First, the product identifier. Now that's the name of the product and the manufacturer or supplier. Shipping name, shipping numbers, and part numbers, and the emergency phone number.
And it's important to know that number is there in case of an emergency.
Very good, Skippy. Now, back to the labels. And then the all-important signal word and hazard statements. There's our favorite, pictogram. Next, precautionary statements and stuff like what to do in case of a fire and what kind of first aid you might need. And Skippy?
Yes?
It's pictogram quiz time.
Cool with a side order of awesome.
Who are you? Hey, what's this? Go ahead, say it out loud. Did you say health hazard? If you did, good for you. Health hazards can mess up your breathing, your internal organs, cause cancer, and lead to mutant genicity. Mutants! Flame. Hey, this stuff can burn. Flame over the letter O means it's an oxidizer, and that means combustion. Exclamation point, irritants and toxics. Gas cylinder, gases under pressure. Corrosion, the chemical is corrosive, acids and bases. Exploding bomb. Hey, that chemical you're handling can explode, dude. Environmental toxicity, dead tree, dead fish. Hey, bad for the environment. I'm gonna guess that, huh? Skull and crossbones, acute toxicity. So, there you have it, the globally harmonized system pictogram. Skippy, I'm coming home. Do you get all that?
I think so.
When it comes to safety, there is no think, there is only do. Do you get all that?
I do.
Any questions?
Just one thing.
Yeah.
My name is not Skippy.
Oh,
It's Aaron.
okay, sorry. Thank you for your help, Aaron.
You're welcome.
You know, I have to be honest here. You started out a little poor me, but you did good. And as for you, what's that? Health hazard. I know you got that. Thanks for watching. I know you're not supposed to burn bridges, but what if it's a troll bridge? You know that was bad. His hair's on fire! Call 911! It's a troll-free call!